welcome back to Foam Rolling with Karen at Common Bond Yoga in Springfield, Oregon. We are going to start hitting each part of the body bit by bit, and we're going to start with the feet. I always like to start with the feet. It's your foundation. If your feet are really, really sensitive, you might use a foam roller and just kind of roll back and forth along the bottom of your foot. I don't really feel much here, so if you're ready to step it up a notch, grab a ball. Grab a lacrosse ball. A tennis ball is going to be a little softer. A golf ball is going to be a little harder stuff. So I'm going to take the lacrosse ball and I'm going to stand on it. And I am not going to stand on my heel because the heel is basically just bone. So we want to stay away from the bone. So I'm just going to focus on the bottom of the foot from just above the heel to basically just below the toes for right now. And especially focusing on the arch of the foot. You're gonna feel a lot of pressure there. So I'm actually gonna go on the inside. I'm gonna kind of turn my right foot in a little bit and rock back and forth along the inside of my arch. And if I find a spot that feels pretty tight, I might lean into it, kind of hold it there for a second, lean into it, and give it some extra time to release. And then I'll roll towards the middle of the arch, breathing, and then towards the outside, which be careful, this is where the ball tends to kind of want to slip out from underneath you and roll away. And I might pause again. I feel a pretty tight spot right there. I'm going to kind of lean into that a little bit and breathe. These videos are going to be fairly quick, so I certainly encourage you to stay a little longer, work a little bit longer, maybe pause before I move on to the next thing, and take another 10 minutes to work the bottom of your foot this way if you want to. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to come down, I'm going to have a seat. I don't really want to stop doing this right now, it feels really good. But I'm going to go ahead and have a seat. I'm still focusing on my right foot, and something I'm going to do that my yoga teacher, one of my yoga teachers taught me, is this technique of placing a finger between each and every toe. And this is going to be hard. A lot of us wear shoes, right? And we might wear tight shoes, we might wear high heels, and our toes get really scrunched together. So this is a good way to create more space. Just holding here might be enough. You might pick up the foot with the other hand and rock back and forth with the toes. Maybe even rocking through the ankle. Maybe doing a little circular motion. Remember that I'm giving you instruction, but I highly encourage you to move your own body in different ways to discover what feels best, what works best for you and your body. Now I want to get the top of the foot, and so I can either use a lacrosse ball again, or you can just use your own hand. Sometimes that's going to work better. The lacrosse ball, you might be able to push and get a little more pressure. If you've got the golf ball, that's probably going to be a lot harder than your own fingers. We don't want to apply so much pressure that we are wanting to hold our breath and we're actually wanting to tense up. We want to try and relax into this. So kind of rocking around the toes, top of the foot, the inside of the foot. I'll go back by the Achilles heel. That's usually a pretty tight spot on the body. And then I'll come over and get the outside. I think this one I might use my hand. I like to put a little pressure between all the little bones leading to the toes. I don't want to get this feeling of spreading your foot out. And then before I move on to the other side, I'm going to stand up and notice the difference, and you will feel this, how much more spread out and relaxed my right foot feels right now compared to my left foot. So I'll go ahead, now we'll move to the left, and we'll do the same thing. Start with taking the lacrosse ball to the inside arch of the foot from big toe down to, again, just above the heel, pausing on those spots that feel pretty tense. Breathe. Moving to the middle of the foot. And then the outside of the foot. Good time to notice if doing this felt a lot harder on one side than the other side. Again, if you want to stay here for a little bit longer, pause the video. Otherwise, we'll have a seat. And we will take our fingers again and place them one between each and every toe. I've had surgery on this foot, on my big toe, so it's a little bit harder. Move that foot around, little wave-like motion, little circles. You might spread your fingers out, and that's going to create more space there as well. And then I'm going to hit the top of the foot. Lacrosse ball, fingers. When you're doing this stuff, typical yoga teacher thing to say, but stay in your body. Don't let your mind wander away. Focus on what you're doing. Notice the spots that need a little extra attention, a little more time. Hand on the outside of my foot. Don't forget about the Achilles heel. Getting up into that ankle as well. Inside ankle. Just remember, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time at all on the bones. You don't want to be rolling the bones. We want to be rolling what's in between the bones. So that's about it for the feet, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your feet feel good, and we'll see you next time.